This is Stan Fischler, and this is the Power Play Break, the place to talk about pucks.
Talk about your first shift when you get out there. I mean, this is the big time. This is not, we're no longer down in the minors. This is it. I've reached the apple. I'm excited to be here. Thoughts? First time you get out there.
It was a blur. I couldn't tell you what happened on that first shift. I couldn't tell you. All I remember is the guys coming off and just hopping on the ice, and I don't remember how long I was out there. You can tell me I was out there for 15 seconds. I'd probably tell you it's true. But it was a big blur that first shift, because you're just trying to get out and almost you want to get hit or give a hit to kind of get into the game, and that was my first thought is, all right, let's get engaged in the game and go from there.
Now, talk about your first goal. And everyone dreams of Major League Baseball's first home run, first hit. Talk about your first goal. I mean, is this something you envisioned way back in Rochester in the driveway? Did you say to yourself, someday maybe I'll get there, maybe I won't? And now you're here, and you get that first goal. What do you remember about it?
Well, it didn't happen my first time up. I think I was up for 13 games and 0 goals, and it didn't come until the end of the next season. It was the last game of the year against Ottawa. I just remember Ponikarovsky driving the net, and the puck was just kind of sitting there in the crease, and I just.
Do you know who the goalie was?
Anderson.
Okay.
So.
Do you know the date?
I know it was in April. I don't know the specific date.
April 7th, 2012.
Yeah,
so.
It was. I can remember the play like it was yesterday, and it's like you said, it's something you dream about when you're playing, road hockey at home with your friends. Scoring a goal in the NHL, and for it to come true was awesome.
Now that playoffs that year, you guys go all the way to the finals. Talk about how your line clicked with Bernier, and how you guys you ignited, you caught fire at the right time, and everything worked for you guys.
Yeah, it really did. It's I can't really explain it. It's 3 different styles that clicked out there, and we got great bounces at the right time, and I think that came from the hard work that we put in during the shifts. That we almost created our own bounces, and for whatever reason, the chemistry we had throughout the playoffs was awesome. It was it was just fun to be a part of that ride and to get that chance. And
talk about that. I mean, you've been in the minors for 6 years. Now you're finally up at the big club, and you get to the finals very early on in your career. That's got to be saying to them, "Wow, this is great."
It is. Obviously, it's a huge disappointment to lose. To make it all the way there, get that close and lose. But after the fact, and you just kind of sit back and look at what you just did, and not many guys can say they've even played in the Stanley Cup Finals, and to do that in my first playoff experience was something I won't forget.
Now, they call your brother the Rochester Rocket, and they call you the Rochester Pocket Rocket. I mean, is that who put those monikers on you guys?
That's the first time I've heard that nickname. I haven't heard that one yet. I knew of Brian's nickname, so I think there's a sandwich named after him at a local deli right by in West Orange there, but that's the first I've heard of that nickname for myself.
Now, I had a brother growing up. We played sports together. Do you and Brian talk during the season much, or do you guys, like the Manning brothers, talk? Do you guys talk about different things or different styles? Like he'll see a team and you won't see that team yet, but you call him up and say, "What have you seen?" Or
no, not actually. Not really. It's because each team has a different style. Like Montreal plays a different style than we do, so our game plan may be a little bit different than theirs. But when we talk, it's more just kind of checking in, see how the families are doing, see how he's doing, and we talk a few times a week, whether it's through a phone call or text message. So it's nice to keep close to them and go from there.
Off season, you work out with them and all that, or?
When I'm back in Rochester, I do. This year we spent it here in New Jersey. It's easier keeping the kids settled here and the house that we had rented. So it's when we go back to Rochester to visit my family, I work out with them, and it's nice to get back there, see your friends, and go and do workouts with your brother. It's just comfortable.
All right. I did some research on you through a contact from your
right.
days at Boston College when you were a senior. And he gave me 5 questions that only you would know if you were on the BC hockey team for your last year. Okay?
All right.
05-06 at Boston College. First question. In your senior year at Boston College, what song did the team play in the locker room before you guys hit the ice?
Whitney Houston, how would I know?
He said, I want to dance with somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry. That is how I want to dance with somebody. It was Whitney Houston. We came up with that song during the preseason, workouts in September, and I think it was me, Peter Harold, and Chris Collins, and it was pretty much unanimous decision on picking that song, and so it was
kind of different. Usually you're thinking something along like the Metallica, Van Halen, the hockey player. And
the thought process behind that one was we had a lot of underclassmen, a lot of freshmen, sophomores. And going into the first game, we knew they were going to be nervous, and we wanted to kind of keep it light before we went out there. Just kind of show them it's like, all right, just take a step back, relax, have some fun out there, and this is going to be something special.
What did Coach York think of that song?
I don't really remember his thoughts, but I think he was thinking something different along those lines too.
Okay, what was the actual main entrance to your senior dormitory that year?
The main entrance?
Yes.
It was, we were in Ignacio, A12. I would say the window to our door.
Right. That's right.
The window, because we were...
Right, we're doing well.
Yeah,
we got 3 more to go here. What kind of a car that year did Brian Boyle own and drive on campus?
A yellow Jeep. I remember that because he forgot to put up his roof one day and it flooded. So I remember that.
Okay, which was better for a post-victory beer, Rogies or Marianne's?
Rogies. We weren't allowed at Marianne's.
Okay. Last question, and I'll tell you who gave me these questions. See if you
I would like
remember
to know.
Your tenure at Boston College, who held the most wins for shootout belt practice? Snides, Harry, or you?
Definitely not me. I would have to say it was Harry.
Okay. Chris Poulos, who was the freshman manager for you guys that year, I coached growing up.
All right.
And he gave me these 5 questions, and he said only a BC hockey player or somebody tied to the program would.
I think I had 1 shootout win that year, so it definitely was not me.
Okay. This part of the power play break is over. Ricky is coming up next. You ready for Ricky with 5 crazy questions or 10 crazy questions? Whatever he's going to ask you?
I am.
More after this.
That's pretty good. This is Stephen Gionta and the New Jersey Devils. You're watching the power play break, the place to talk about pucks.